Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Randy and this is a response video. It's a response to a thread started by Chris Propfe and his channel Chris Propfe Musically Obsessed. And he had the idea that since it's October to do a thread where you show your O albums, and it's called O for October. A kindergarten video is what they call it, I think. But I don't know, maybe it's more like Sesame Street, I don't know. O for October, and so he wants us to show the O albums in our collections. And so I'm going just strictly with vinyl here, and I might as well get started. So the first O in my collection is the great folk songwriter and singer Phil Ochs, who tragically took his own life, and this is the broadside tapes, which are, have been some unreleased material there. And then this is a great retrospective, Chords of Fame by Phil Ochs. Some of his best materials on here. Then we have Pleasures of the Harbor, which, I don't see the year on here, I can't remember, but another great Phil Ochs album. And next one is Helen O'Connell, who was a big band singer, sang with Jimmy Dorsey for quite a while. And this is an album called An Era Reborn. Helen O'Connell. Next, the great Odetta. And this is a wonderful album, Odetta Sings Dylan, which she did in 1965. So she was probably one of the first singers, first singers to acknowledge Dylan's greatness as a songwriter. He did a whole album of his songs. I saw where recently a couple, I think, of her albums have been reissued. But she's kind of a folk artist with kind of a blues background. But yeah, this is a wonderful album. Her version of, if I can find it on here, Baby I'm in the Mood for You is probably my favorite, actually, over Dylan's. Great album by Odetta. Then you have the wonderful power pop of Off Broadway and their album called On. And then you have Happy Hallahan and the album Hot Honky Tonk Piano, which basically tells you what it is. If you want some funk, I've got the best of the Ohio Players. Most people know most of the songs on here, one of their hits. Another one is some people might not know, Zepharia Ohura, and it's kind of a modern country artist with a traditional country feel. He sounds a lot like Merle Haggard, actually, on many of these songs, and this is his album, Listening to the Music. And some great R&B from the OJs and their album Coming Through, with the great Whip It On Me Baby is a great tune by them on this one. The OJs. Then I have great singer-songwriter Danny O'Keefe, best known for Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues, but that's not on this album. That's the only one I have by him, though. Danny O'Keefe. Michael O'Keefe, actor? I can't remember. Anyway. Then I have the Old Crow Medicine Show. This is their newest album, Volunteer. They're best known for taking the Dylan song and that was partially done and finishing it with the song Wagon Wheel. But this is their newest one. And I have that other album, but only on CD, but this is the only one I have on vinyl, is their newest one. Old Crow Medicine Show. Then I have a Swedish hard rock band called Old Man's Will, and it's called Hard Times Troubled Man. It's kind of an interesting album here. Then I have the Old 97s, kind of an alternative country.
This one comes from Bloodshot 1995 album of theirs. I have several of their albums on CD. This is the only one I have on vinyl, old 97s. Then I have Michael Oldfield, Tubular Bells, and most people know that tune, and it still kind of gives me chills when I think about it because it was used in the movie Exorcist, The Exorcist. And then I have kind of a French chartreuse Jane Oliver, who a little bit lounge-like. To be honest, I haven't listened to this in a long time. This was actually in a collection a friend of mine gave me, so I probably need to revisit this one, Jane Oliver. And another really good singer-songwriter, David Olney, and his album Eye of the Storm, which came out in 1986 on Rounder. But if it's on Rounder, it's probably going to be pretty good. Then I have the great Roy Orbison and all-time greatest hits of Roy Orbison, and you can see all the songs. You all know these great tunes by Roy. Started on the Sun label. Then I have some great synth pop with orchestral maneuvers in the dark and their album Junk Culture. And some little Tony Orlando and Dawn, in case you were wanting to hear Tie Yellow Ribbon Around the Rolled Oak Tree. Actually, I do kind of like their pop hits, Knock 3 Times and Candida, which, you need a little bubble gum once in a while. I have Yesterday, Today, and the Osborne Brothers for some bluegrass. This is a fine album of theirs. Came out in 60 sometime, 67, something like that. It doesn't say on here. And next I have Gilbert O'Sullivan and his album Alone Again Naturally, which, Gilbert O'Sullivan himself, featuring the song Alone Again Naturally, which was his biggest hit. It might be his only hit. That's the only one that I really know of. Next is Johnny Otis and the original Johnny Otis show. Got some kind of a collection of some of his material. But he was kind of a unique guy in that he started out as a drummer, and he's actually in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but not as a performer. He was like a talent scout, a record producer, record label owner, journalist, and discovered quite a few famous singers. And in fact, he auditioned a Big Mama Thornton, and he actually is the one playing drums on the song Hound Dog. And I showed a record when I did a thing for Randall Weaver about Music in the Morning, where I showed this Charles Brown. And actually, I think he played with the Three Blazers for a while. He's not on the cover here, but there is a picture of him with Charles Brown on the back right there. But anyway, Johnny Otis, unique talent. Okay, next, some Southern rock. We got the Outlaws. This is their album, In the Eye of the Storm. And then I also have the Outlaws album, self-titled. It has the biggest hit probably, Green Grass and High Tides. And gotta have some Buck Owens. This is an album, The Bakersfield Sound. This is his album, Arms Full of Empty. I also have The Best of Buck Owens. And Buck Owens on the radio, which kind of I don't know if this came right after his first album or became before his first album, but it was on La Brea and has some of his early recordings are on there. Sorry, phone call interruption.
And the next Buck Owens album I have is the instrumental hits of Buck Owens. And the Kansas City Song album by Buck Owens. And last but not least, I got Car Over the Lake from the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Anyway, those are my O's. Hope other people join in and see what albums you have in your O section. And do it for Chris Propfe. Thank you, and everyone have a good day.